Okay, welcome. This is Linus Wilson. We are live here. We're going to play Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to use the Infinite Sandevistan build. This is actually my third playthrough. The second playthrough, the first one was on PC, didn't really try to get any of the achievements. And then the second one was on, it was on PlayStation, and I tried to go for all the trophies, but one was bugged for me, Mean Streets. So this is the third playthrough. We're trying to get the final trophy, Mean Streets, and then that'll get us the platinum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let people know. I'm going to answer questions, and I'll also talk about my general impressions of the GPU market right now. In terms of the PS5, Xbox Series X, I think there's pretty good availability. I saw the Xbox Series X in my Target, and I'm sure there's a number of places where you can get it, if not in a small bundle, then straight out. So the current gaming stock shortage is for the PlayStation, or is for the 4090. So let me let some people know that we're live, and then I'll check the audio and stuff, and then we'll get started. Okay, I see a few people in the chat. All right, so the audio seems okay. I'm gonna share this on Twitter, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I sent out the tweet, and I think we're ready to go. Okay, so my general impressions on the GPU market is I think the stock availability has been improving somewhat. We had a lot of drops last week. Newegg and Amazon are very botted at the moment. So I think even when they do drop, and they do tend to have fairly frequent drops, Amazon especially for that MSI card, but it's just impossible for human fingers to get, I think, because there are shopping bots on Amazon right now. And the same thing with Newegg. Those two places are really sensitive to. They're really easy for bots to work on, and there's a lot of, I think, bot programs for those places. But I think, and Online's had some drops, and those I think are actually fairly easy to get if you're on them. I mean, if you follow Ant Online. The thing is that Ant Online's not going to have fastest shipping as Newegg or Amazon, in my experience. So we should be getting the 4090 and 13900K soon. We're going to do a tower build instead of a AIO water cool build. I like the elegance of the AIO water build, but some of you may know that I own a boat, and I've sailed this sailboat pretty far. We have a lot of pumps on our boat, and our pumps fail all the time. So I would never rely on a pump that I thought could cause a catastrophic failure. I would always have backups, and you really have no backups with an AIO pump. And if it fails, you could just very easily not notice it and ruin your CPU and motherboard. So that's something that I would want to avoid. And so that's why I'm going with the air cooling. Right now, I think we currently have 8 fans in, plus you add another 2 for the Noctua DH15, and that gets you up to 10 fans. I actually think I'm going to go with 11 fans, and I think we're going to replace the only non LED fans I want are RGB fans are probably going to be the Noctua ones. I just like the Noctua. I think that's kind of cool, but the rest is going to be RGB. We also have like RGB sticks. Now I'm going with 12. I'm going with DH4 125 100 1256 gigabytes, I think, of RAM. So the maximum RAM. I was thinking of going with 64, maybe it's 128 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, 128. I was going to go with the 64, but then the RAM kit that I ordered seemed like it was having stock problems, and I wanted to have matching RAM, so I just ended up getting it all. Now, I have watched a ton of videos about DDR4 versus DDR5 for the 12th gen, and I've even seen one for the 13th gen, and while it sounds like when you read the boxes that they're going to be twice as fast with the DDR5, it's not the case. It just doesn't really translate. The speeds of the DDR5 do not really translate into better performance for the computer in productivity tasks or in gaming. So I just don't. I don't think you actually gain anything by getting DDR5 at this point. I've just not seen any empirical evidence that is convincing to pay twice as much, and you're going to pay at least twice as much even at current prices. So I mean, a lot of people are like, well, 32 gigs, I saw somebody show a sale 32 gigs of RAM for DDR5 for $250, right? But you're probably going to pay $300. And my DDR4 64 gig is was expensive at $230, right? That was one of the more expensive kits that I chose, right? I could have easily gotten DDR4 for under $200, especially if I didn't want RGB. So I just don't. I think that's one of the things. I know people like to say, "Oh, you have a 4090, so money is no object." Money is always an object. So I mean, if the 4090s were being scalped at $4,000 the way that the 3090s were a year ago, then that would make a difference. So I think regardless of what your budget is, it makes a difference, and you want to pay for something that actually has performance instead of maybe Gucci bag value. And I think right now DDR5 has Gucci bag value, but it doesn't have actual performance value. So everybody makes their own decision, and people say, well, it's for future proofing. We might find that in the future. We might, but to get 128 of DDR5, that would cost me more than the motherboard. It would cost me extra, more than what a new motherboard and the DDR4 RAM was. So even if I throw away the RAM and I throw away the motherboard to upgrade to DDR5, it's it's basically a free upgrade if I wait. So I just don't I don't see the value in that. But a lot of people are going to say that, but there's like absolutely no data to back it up. You would think from the marketing on it that you see the speed on the RAM, and it's just I don't think RAM speed makes that much difference. You also have greater latency with the DDR5. So in terms of the stock situation, I think it's good. I don't know. I mean, I think 11.3 we're going to have the announcement of the RDNA 3 and the AMD GPUs. I think that's interesting. We'll see if that makes a difference. I think that's going to be good for people that want to have a next generation lower tier card, but I don't know that that's going to really move the needle for the people that are either doing productivity workloads, which are better with NVIDIA stuff, so 3D rendering, video editing, etc., versus which RDNA is kind of underperformed with, but RDNA has been pretty good for rasterization, and definitely right. Last gen's going to give you the best rasterization or frames per second per dollar, right? So I mean, today, if you want to build $1,000 system, you definitely can do that, and you can have a really good computer. It's gonna live stream well. It's gonna edit well. It's gonna game well at 1080p or 1440. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, hooking up your PC to a TV set that has 4K, that seems like such a weird concept to me. But I know that there are people that do that. So, for me, like the higher end GPU is about video editing speed. It's not so much about playing games faster or with better frames. But you have to say, well, I'm going to play it in 4K. I guess if you've got like a multiple monitor, if you have like one of those big curved monitor setups, then the 4090 is making more sense in terms of the things. But I think in terms of like just pure gaming performance, it's just going to hit the maximum. And then that's the other thing is the 4090 is going to... So the CPU is going to matter for the 4090 because you're starting to get CPU bounded on games where the 3090 wouldn't get you there or 3090 Ti wouldn't get you there. But we're talking about really, really high frame rates unless you're talking about Cyberpunk or Valhalla, some AAA game that has a relatively high detail that has relatively low frame rates, right? To get Cyberpunk to 120 hertz at high detail is pretty much impossible without a 4090 on a 4K. But, I played Cyberpunk on a 2060 laptop, and it was a great performance. It was much better performance than it is on the PS5, which I'm playing it on now, right? And so I think in terms of frames, I think it's kind of an academic discussion about like, 230 frames versus 220 frames, if you have a monitor that is actually pushing out those frames, I still don't think most people can see it, unless they're in competitive FPS stuff. And for the competitive FPS stuff, we're talking about like 500 frames with a 4090, but you could get over probably 300 frames, with the 3090, which is going for half the price, right? Almost half the price. Not quite half, but I think you can get a $900 3090 that's new. It's a little harder. I've seen definitely you could get a $950 one. I actually find, for some of these, it's a lot harder to find a deal on it. I think the other thing is that we have seen the scalper prices go down for 4090. That may be anticipation of the 11.3 announcement. I have done surveys of people who are interested in GPUs, and they just are not interested in RDNA. So even if RDNA is a lot better than expected, I'm not sure they're going to buy it, even if it's like a $400 discount. So if there is a 7950X that is offered for sale next month, I'm not sure that people are going to buy it, even if it has similar ray tracing to the 3090. I don't know if that's going to be a sell for most people. I still think that what the value that RDNA is going to offer is probably to the mid to high mid to lower tier for people that want to get the newest generation. And I think they're going to have the field open to them, because it doesn't look like NVIDIA is going to roll out the 4th gen very quickly for the rest of the stock besides the 4080 16 gigabytes. And so I think the most likely scenario is you're going to have a 7900 that's going to be price competitive relative to the 4080 12 gigabytes, and they're going to duke it out. But probably a lot of people are going to buy the 4080 16 gigabytes. Sorry, not 12. The 12 was canceled, but the 16 gigabyte, the true 4080 for $1,200. Now, I think that we might see a price cut in that before the launch day. So I think $1,200 is a little high for that, especially where the 4090s and 3090 Ti's are trading. So I think that if they, but it may be that NVIDIA just really wants to push people to the 4090 and sell as many 4090s as possible, and not worry about the lower tier cards. And so keeping the price of the 4080 really high. And so I think they think from their last generation what their biggest mistake was. They think their biggest mistake was that they priced the 4080 too low, right? Or the 3080 too low. The 3080 at $700 was like a tremendous mistake for NVIDIA, right? Because, with the mining boom, right, everybody wanted those 3080 cards, and they were trading for $2,400 during the peak of the boom. And so that was a lot of money they left on the table. And had they priced the 3080 higher, say $900, they would have made so much more profits. And that's why I don't think we're going to see a 4080 that is, anything close to $700. They just think that's too big a gap. And they don't want to push people into that tier. They want to push people into the higher tier, not the lower tier. So they would like them to go to the 4090. They would not like them to go to the 4080 straight away. So that's, I think, is a justification. Now, is RDNA 3, the AMD, going to force them into that? I'm not so sure, because I just don't think that there's the mind share there. So anyways, we're going to play Mean Streets. If you have any questions, I would say the build is going along. We've got almost all the parts. I think I ordered a new heatsink yesterday, because I don't like the heatsink that's on the board for the boot drive. It didn't seem to be sticking properly. It's like not the correct size for one thing. So I think that with a correctly sized heatsink, I think I'm going to get another one of the like I have on the 3080 machine. I think I'm going to get the what was it? The Sabrent, their big heatsink, their big one for PCs, and I think that would be better fitting and have much better thermals, and it should not interfere with the tower cooler. And then I flashed the BIOS yesterday, because it's a Z690 board, and it doesn't have any information without the newest BIOS on the 13th gen. So I think if you slot in the 13th gen in there, it's not going to work unless you flash the BIOS. So I think it worked. I found MSI's technical support a little bit wanting. One of them was fairly good, and then the second one just like said random stuff and didn't explain himself. So I think it worked out okay. It's supposed to, the lights, when you have the flash drive, you should use like a 32 gigabytes or less that is exFAT 32 or is FAT 32 compatible. exFAT is not acceptable. It's probably not going to work if you have more than 32 gigs, although I've heard of people saying it does. So I had to buy like a really cheap 16 gig flash drive because you don't have them anymore. And you put it in the particular slot, and there is a flash BIOS button on my motherboard, which is a MSI C690 DDR4 LGA 1700 Pro A board, and so it like flashes, and then it did that for about 8 minutes, and then it turned off. But the CPU light was always on, and the CPU light is an error light, which says there's no CPU there. You do have to plug in the CPU power. I didn't plug in any other powers, so that explains why there wasn't a RAM light. So we had the CPU power and then the ATX 24 power in. So I think it's good, but you don't have any visibility of that, unless you hook up a monitor or something, and I'm not even sure that would have worked if I hooked up a monitor. I did not. And keyboard, right? I don't know if you can like boot the monitor and the keyboard without a CPU. But you can tell me in the comments what you think about, you've got any experience with that. All right, so we're gonna go for the Mean Streets Trophy. I'm still a ways away. I think the problem. Okay, so it was bugged on my previous playthrough. There was just one objective that I'd gotten in Act 1, and I just could not.
Hey everyone, welcome to Info Flash. Say, did y'all lose power yesterday too? Yeah, when the lights went out, there I was cooking dinner. Oh well, if we're getting specific.
Okay, so the objectives were, there was like one on the map where it was like right here that I just could not get rid of it right there because I looted that while I snuck in with Act 1, and it would not recognize that I'd already looted the objective when I got to Act 2 and 3, and so it just wouldn't complete. And so the issue was that, and if I were going to do my review of Cyberpunk on the PC back a year ago was like an 8 out of 10. I would give it 7 out of 10 just because of all the bugs I think that there are in the PS5 version. Still, it's not totally fixed. The PS5 version is somewhat unstable. It just was not. It's just not as good as the PC version, even on a not stellar machine. Like I said, 2060 laptop was much more stable than this one. So the issue we have is like we're level 23. Let's go to character. We're level 23, 50 street cred. So 50 street cred you need to kind of complete all the gigs and stuff. It also allows you to unlock a lot of cyberware. But we finally made it to 18 technical ability and 15 reflexes. And why is that important? Because that gives you the infinite Sandevistan build. So we have a 3-second cooldown on the Keon Mark IV, which you get from fingers near Jig Street. But you only get it from him if you've not punched him. So don't punch him. Don't rough him up when you see him. Or buy everything in his stock before you do automatic love. But that gives me a fighting chance to start going after the Haywood scanner hustles in level 23. I'm playing on normal difficulty. I guess I would pour through this really quick if I was doing it on easy. but it would be a little bit harder. You know, and we're doing over 1,000 DPS on our katana. That's our best weapon. But really, this is the highest level region, and you're not going to really find it starting to get easy until level 30, because everything is dependent on your attribute level, right? Your armor, your weapon stats, and so these are just, I have to hit these guys like 4 or 5 times with the katana, which is like basically taking the whole Sandevistan. So I can only do like one at a time. I can't really take out multiples of them, and then I have to run away and wait for the cooldown, because they also can, you know, they're not one tapping me, but they can 2 or 3 tap me. And so that's the issue, is that there's some of these that I may not be able to do just because of the concentration of the enemies. So, you know, I've had to basically do the main quest. So what we did was we were farming Pacifica. So first thing, for this third playthrough, right, we're farming Pacifica for street cred, right? And so we got to 20 street cred before the end of Act 1, so we could like buy a lot of cyberware there, by just farming those muscle-bound ladies who are like right here near where this gig is. 2 wrongs make a right, which is a very difficult gig, by the way. But there's 3 ladies that respawn there, and you can bomb them with impunity because you can stand on the semi-trailer crates. I got a video about that. And then you just do and then after I got to Act 2, I found the Pacifica Loop was a little bit hard in Act 1 when I'm like level 5. But by doing the main quest to get to Act 2, that got me up to like level 10 after farming the muscle-bound ladies. And then the Pacifica Loop was really easy, and I was able to get to street cred 50, but I still was only like at attribute point level 17, right? And you don't get a lot of attribute points farming the Pacifica Loop. You get mostly street cred, and you also get like weapon perk points or weapon XP, which you know, improves your stats on those weapon and those particular skill types. So so it like improved my, let's see if we can move this. Yeah, that's better. So it improved my engineering, you know, we're improving my blades and handguns. I also leveled up all my low-level skills. So we're eventually going to put points into cool, but I think we'll just keep on dumping into reflexes until we get to 20 reflexes, and we'll start dumping into cool. But maybe, you know, maybe we can put a few points in cool now. Maybe that'll be the next one. We'll put 1 in cool, so we start getting at least some ninjutsu leveling, and we get some cold blood. We eventually want to get to, I think it's on blades, right? So we eventually want to get to Dragon Strike, so we can have a crit damage build. So that's what we're going for this third playthrough, is a crit damage build. So we do the Dragon Strike, and that's going to give us more crit damage. And if we get to 20 cool, let's see, is that in 20 cold blood, right? Increases crit chance by 5%. Yeah, and then we want to dump points into Merciless. So we have 100% crit chance, and then we have a really big crit damage. But we have to get to 20 and 20, so that's kind of a long-term goal right now. We're at 15, 20 levels away from that right now. We're level 23, so we're not really going to get to that crit damage build until level 40, and hopefully by that time I've got the trophy. So we won't get there before we get the trophy, and that's what I'm really only in for, is the trophy. I'm not really in for playing the game or different endings or whatever. Oh, I've already done all the endings, so it's like not worth it. Okay, so if I don't see anything in the chat, I'll just continue on. All right, so we want to go to another assault in progress in the green area. So we're going for Haywood. We don't care about anything else. It's just the problem is Haywood is the toughest area. So this looks like the so that's high, high, high. Oh, I guess they used to be very high, so they've gone down to high. So that's an improvement, I guess. Maybe we'll go to this. No, there we go. We'll go to the Reconciliation Park fast travel, and then get the fast travel to Reconciliation. I got a video on farming Reconciliation Park. That's really for somebody, you know, level 30 and above. We're too low level to farm right here. But it's probably the best late game farming spot for XP. Okay, let's see. We're right next to it. What? We gotta go like all around to get there? That's really weird. It's high up. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a good thing we have the double jump. Need to see a way to jump up. Yeah, I think I've been up here before, and I just was too low level to do anything. It was just a waste of time. So the double jump is great for crossing the street. So, you know, the most dangerous thing in Cyberpunk is the cars that are going to run you over. Okay, we definitely want to save before this, because it's a little touch and go even with the infinite Sandevistan build, because we're just not doing enough damage. And I also have a ton of mods on here. So it's up. Because I got the Sandevistan on, I don't have any hacking, so I gotta shoot stuff instead of hacking it. It's not really stealthy.
Well, little girl, I give up. Hide and seek isn't my game.
Is this it? Just her? Alright, that was an easy one. Oh, this is like tied to a reported crime. Okay, so we want to do this one too. Okay, I'm on top. Maybe I need to be on the bottom. Okay, I'm on too low a level. Well, that looks easy enough. Ashura, look at that, crafting spec. Nice. Alright, so we got another level. So, so those green reported crimes also count towards the Haywood trophy, the Mean Streets trophy. We haven't really started the gigs yet because they're harder than the assaults in progress. So we're hopefully we can use the assaults in progress to level up. Otherwise, we have to do more main quests. I'm pretty far down Pan Am's quest line. You basically have to do Pan Am, Judy, and then complete Takamura, because Oda is a really hard boss in Takamura's quest line, so you don't want to get there too quick. The game won't let you, though. They won't let you get too far, I think. Okay. So we're going to craft. We want to upgrade. So this is the Shura. I don't really use the sniper rifles that much, but anyways, that's our new thing. So, you know, because I'm spec'd out all in, I guess in the characters, so we could put one in cool, and then we're gonna, because you just like get free XP with cool, and then we're gonna craft. So yeah, if you've got points that have not been leveled up and cool, then you know you're gonna get like points from Ninjutsu, you're gonna get points from Cold Blood, and you're gonna get points for whatever type of weapon you're using if you're not maxed that out. Because we're not speccing into body this time. I do like to spec into body. In my previous 2 runs, I did spec into body heavily, if not got to max. You know, then you don't want to really use a shotgun. So we want to use an assault rifle. You know, we could also use the sniper rifles. And then handguns, right? And then the katana or some sort of blade. You could use a monowire too. because we're not spec'd into body, I'm not using the mono wire. The mono wire is not. It's good if you're really low level, but if you've got a good katana, then it's just better to use a katana, I think. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. At a low level, the mono wire is going to do you a lot more damage than the katana, but at a high level, the katana is going to be better. We've got the Satori here, which would be great for the crit. So let's see what the crit damage. Massive crit damage, but reduces base damage by 20%. Right, so we could be critting like a lot now. I just don't think we have a lot of crit chance. So maybe if we put on crit chance clothes and mods, maybe I don't know if we have a lot of crit chance clothing mods. You know, we could also put crit mods on the. I think there's crit chance mods we could put on the katana, but that would also reduce our DPS. I don't think I was wearing that, so I didn't need to upgrade that. So these have like crit chance, I think, on these shoes, or I have some shoes that have crit chance, high crit chance. So you want to do that, and you know you want to upgrade your gear every level. Every time you get a new level, upgrade all your gear, and so the quality of your gear is going to really depend on that. So there's the duplication glitch, but we're also in the region where we can craft for a profit. I think what is it? I don't know if I have it yet, but there's quite a number of things like we could craft for a profit right now. You know, it's this D59 Dion is we could craft for a pretty hefty profit. Maybe that's our best one right now. So if we really wanted money, that'd probably be easier to do at this point than it would be to do even the Gary glitch. I have not done the Gary glitch, but you know I don't need a lot of money in this run, so I'm not buying all the cars. I've already done that. I already have that trophy. So I think I've only bought the Glen apartment because I don't really like the other ones. And you always want to be sleeping the apartment for the XP boost. So we got about 40 minutes of the XP boost left. So, yeah, I'm probably taking a break from these until maybe like right before the videos. I'll probably not make a lot of edited videos until maybe right before God of War comes out, and then we're gonna just cover God of War more or less exclusively. So the Cyberpunk resurgence has kind of kept me from doing the Valhalla update, but I think we're gonna have a lot of time to do the Valhalla, so I think we're gonna get to the final update for Valhalla pretty soon. Right, we'll get Eivor's final story. Okay, so up here, assault in progress. Okay, let's do. So we're also going to use the health boost, the Ram Jolt. We do the stamina booster. We do the capacity booster. We drink something that's not alcoholic, and then we eat something to get all the perks. We got all the perks going right now. Okay. Looks like we need to go up here.
Hey, wait 1 second.
Oh, the ladders are kind of janky. Okay, great. Okay, I've been here before. They just were too tough for me before. We'll see if they're not too tough for me now. I mean, the issue here is, like, I think there was, like, too many in one region. That was mostly it. Alright, so we're gonna... We could use the Synapse accelerator to get 2 seconds, but it's probably not even worth it. So we're gonna just do the... There's that guy up top. So we'll do a save. Because we might get killed. Because there's a lot of guys, like... Right, we got that guy over there. Got that guy. And I don't even think it's worth doing, like, guns with them, because I just not doing enough DPS with guns. There's a guy down below. Oh, this is 6th Street. Okay, and then our strategy is just hide. Kill and hide, and then wait for the cooldown. So we got Ninjutsu there, you see? We got Blades, XP for Attribute, and Ninjutsu. Alright, so there's another 6th Street guy up top. The other good thing with the Blades is... okay, so we'll get this guy down here. Is they're silent, so that should be helpful on that. I don't know if that guy went down or not. Okay, so now the guy's getting aggroed. Okay, that one's gone. And we're gonna hide. So we want to do this as long as we can do one at a time. And then we get the cooldown is done. So now we can go back out. And hide. Then we wait for the cooldown. It's a 3-second cooldown on this build. Looks he almost capped me there. Now I'm not sure where the other guys are. Okay, he's up there. He's got the rifle. Okay, so that's the next one we want to go. Right, and we got Ninjutsu there, right? Because we have some room on Ninjutsu, so it's just like easy XP. You know, you're getting the Blades XP, and you're also getting the Ninjutsu. And these low levels are really easy to get the perk points out of, and also other stat boosts. So by the time we get to the crit build, it's like we're gonna be so overpowered it won't matter. I mean, even on like super hard difficulty, but very hard. I hate those things. Those things are the worst. Is this our objective? Okay, job complete. There we go. Oh, I missed the shard. Yeah, you want to read all the shards even though you're not reading them. You just want to scan them. Because then it's going to... we go to journal shards. so that's going to unlock quests. Even if you're not reading them, you want to make sure you've gone over them. So that all the gigs and stuff will pop. Let's see, where's the... Supposedly something around here. Must be up top. Okay, so next up, so that was good. We'll go down here. So maybe we'll get all the assaults in progress that show up at the moment. I think there's like one in Corporal Plaza that you have to do, but I think maybe we got that. I don't know. Who knows? If we get to the end and done all the gigs and then done all the cyber psychos and then in Haywood and then we see that we haven't done that, we'll worry about that later. Kind of a long way down.
El 80% de los accidentes aéreos provocan la muerte. Respete el límite de velocidad.
Okay, there we go, we're ready to go. We could, you know, put that little bit of hydration and food. Okay, ketchup.
No voy a oír esas pendejadas. Pedazo de mierda, mi cerebro.
Yeah, so I'm just using the gorilla arms to steal cars, because that's the most fun thing in the game is stealing the cars. So if you got a low body, you need gorilla arms to steal most cars. Alright, we got one. And you know what's gonna be overpowering eventually is my bombs, the grenades, but right now they're not good enough. I don't think, not for these high level enemies. And we also have the best max dots. Where'd he go? So I don't think there's any dudes left there. And that the cooldown's already done, right? So Gonna have to go to a drop point pretty soon. Oh, these guys aren't even associated with the quest, they were just like randos. Or with the assault in progress. So how do we get there? Up. This is up. Oh, that overpass there? No. Maybe it is the overpass. Okay, maybe we did clear that one. That just took us to a different one? I don't know. It's really weird. Okay, let's go to a different one. We'll call a car. Or steal one, if they stop.
Just fuck off, please!
What? I got a police report for that? For stealing a car? That almost never happens. I must have done it right in front of the police. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm really screwed now. So, if you get a police star, then the only alternative for you to do is to get in a car and go in a straight line for as long as possible until the police star disappears. Because it's impossible to defeat the police. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can hit them for a while, but they keep on respawning. So, regardless of how tough you are, you know, it's just a waste of time. So, there the star went away. Now we can go back on our objective. Is that our closest objective? Maybe like this one? That was the one we were doing before. We could also do this one. We'll try that. But maybe it's easier by car. We have some good cars, we could call them, but, you know, that's not the fun. The fun is to steal the cars. And drive poorly. Too fast and poorly. Okay, alright, we found it. Okay. And let's do. We'll stock up on the food and liquid. Oh wow, this guy's just right there. There's nobody here. That was it. I've done all these before, by the way, but you know, I forgot them. Okay, there's some dudes. Okay, let's do it. Boy, we really got the trash flying. Okay, one more. So nobody's pursuing. There's a dude over there. Okay guys, come on down. I'd like to slice you one at a time. Okay. Where's the dudes? So I think we already have the objective, but we just want to clean them out. So.
Grenade!
to see where they're at, though.
Let's finish this!
Well, there are a lot of them that have objectives that you have to like secure the area, so that means you have to kill every dude. So just getting the objective marker is not enough, and I think this was one of those. I think we're not leveled up on Breach Protocol. If we could find a Breach Protocol terminal, it'd be nice. You know, you typically get the most Breach Protocols with the gigs, so maybe it's because I've not been doing gigs. We're not going to put any points in intelligence. We're at max for quick hacking. So we go here. That's how we got in. Let's take the Kang Tao car. So I had really hoped that Biden would reduce the Trump tariffs. He's not done that against China and semiconductor producers. Indeed, I think what he's done now is kind of scary. I'm really worried about the Chinese retaliation with respect to the high level chips, because you know, as people have pointed out, most of those high-level chips are produced by TMSC, maybe to a lesser extent Samsung. I mean, it also affects the GPU makers, which are US-based, but the chips underlying their GPUs, their basic chips, made in TSMC. TSMC is in Hong Kong. We do not want to have a shooting war with China. And I just worry that we're kind of getting closer to that. You know, we're kind of beyond the trade war. I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay, so we want to go about here. Let's turn around. Yeah, I'm tanked out. Oh, darn it. Oh, we didn't get a star. Good. The star system is still, I don't know, it's still kind of frustrating. You know, the AI, I think it's, okay, so my take on Cyberpunk is that the AI system is pretty random, but if you look at a game like, I don't know, God of War 2018, there is no AI system, right? There's just enemies, and there's no non-combatants. There are just no non-combatants whatsoever. You know, there's like story characters, right, which have a scripted way they're going to behave, and then you got combatants and no non-combatants, right? You know, like the dwarves are your only friends. You know, so it's like so. With Cyberpunk, where they have hundreds and hundreds of non-combatants, thousands in the game, so their behavior's not optimal, but it's but it is you know. So I think you have to give them credit for where credit is doing. That they're doing more than a lot of other games in terms of AI. It's just not really good. The AI behavior of the non-combatants, they just like, they're always running into bullets. Like, bullets start flying and they just start they'll run straight into it, right? So that's the other benefit of doing like the katana build or the blades build, is like you're less likely to get the police stars. I probably should have saved before that. I think it'll let me save here.
Don't lose faith!
Okay, now I can save. I think Cold Blood is like killing them quickly, and the other one is the Ninjutsu is killing them sneakily, silently. We're on the wrong level here, is that it? So we killed those dudes for nothing. Okay, so this one caused me a lot of problems. It's like the animals, and there was like a lot of animals in one spot. So the first part was easy, but the second part was quite hard because it was just too many at once, and I was having trouble finding a way out. Okay. This is like the juice quest. Look, I mean, see how many times I have to shoot him? It's ridiculous. I had to hit him constantly, so I don't know if I'm leveled up enough for this. But there are a lot of guys on this level, so that's good. So we want to, you know, just one at a time. If we can. Now they're tapping me. See? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now. Go. Okay, so we get another cooldown. We'll look and see if anybody's in this particular area here. Okay, that guy was there. Okay. So hopefully we'll draw him out. Looks like we have drawn him out. We'll wait for our cooldown. Okay, cooldown's done. Well, there were a lot on this level, so that's good. I don't know if there's any more, but we still have the music. I don't think there are any more on this level. So once we get out of, yeah, so now it says we're out of combat. So we'll do a save after looting all these dudes. Oh, look at that. Okay, I didn't know there was a dude over there. Yeah, it's the Kresnikov is just not very long, and so if you have a long run to get to him. I'm probably almost overweight. Oh no, it's not too bad yet, but. There was just like one under level. Alright, we'll save. I can't be hurt by my own grenades. It's like one of the best perks. Okay, so right here I kind of got confused the last time. Maybe we can draw them out. because I don't want to get into that circle there, but I couldn't find a way out of the circle. Of course, the way I came was the way to go, but...
Smoke the ass maggot out!
There we go.
Baby, you can come out now. I just want to talk. Out, you roach!
Okay, there we go.
I just want to talk. I'm gonna fuck you a brand new asshole.
Okay, so we did draw them out, so that's exactly what we want. Wait for the cooldown. There's two of them coming at me. Yeah, he just has a lot of hit points. Look at that. Now, if somebody was behind me, I would have fled, but... Oh, and look, he's got a gold on, so I guess he was the boss, maybe? Yinglong, alright. Let's look at the Yinglong. Right, so you have to do these, you have to do some of these to get the crafting specs. Now you end up getting like the same ones over and over. So here we go, the Yinglong, right? That is, I need to put on my glasses for that one. I think it's 1,973. Yeah, 1,973. Right, so I think that's probably maybe the most profitable, although I think that this one up here, the Dion, it costs less to craft, so it may be more profitable, the Dion, even though its price is lower. But it's you know, they're both submachine gun. So let's craft this new one because maybe it's better than our submachine gun that we're using, and we'll craft some crunch mods. I think we have a lot, but you haven't got an armadillo mod yet for the. But I've been dismantling clothes. If you use the perk tree, there's a dismantling one in the crafting. So you get if you get a clothing item with a mod on it, you dismantle, you get to keep the mod. If you don't have that perk, then you dismantle the mod. You don't want to do that. So that would be that's probably like the easiest, quickest way to get a lot. And I think maybe we've completed the mission, right? We've completed it because there's no marker here. Oh, I was gonna see if the Yinglong was an improvement. Okay, so here's the problem solver. And then this is the Dion. I don't think I put the mods on there, so let's. Is the Dion better than the problem solver? It looks like it. That's the other thing. You can have your crafted items are going to be better, so that's looks like an improvement on the problem solver. Okay. Oh, the Yinglong is an iconic. Okay, so that's interesting. Is that an improvement? Oh yeah, that is better. So that's my new. It's classified as a submachine gun, and so we want to use things that give us assault skill, which is rifles and submachine guns. So that would work, right? So we could level up lights, and we are going to continue to do that because that's our most DPS. But you know, if we were like just playing this to maximize skill points and we were not so under-leveled for this area, then we would be using the handguns more and assault more because we'll level up faster. You know, each level is harder to get each time. And so, you know, I think level 20 is like 30,000 XP versus level 10 is 9,000 XP, right? And then you're talking about 500 XP to get to level 2. Right, so for assault, we could level that pretty quickly if we did a decent DPS. And we're actually doing a pretty decent DPS with this, but I also don't like the reload speeds on the assault weapons. So, you know, I've been just doing switching weapons when I'm not totally under-leveled. But oh, there's their weight bench. Nice. Alright, so I think we need to find a machine. That would be probably our next thing, is find a drop point. Do we have any assaults in progress left? We have 2, maybe. So, do we have any improvements? No, they're all worse. Do we have anything we want to dismantle? No, they're terrible. Is this a Centauri? This is the Katana. Why is the Katana only $9.94? That's weird. Now Satori is better. So yeah, we get plus 524 crit damage. If we just get our crit chance up, then we can really do some damage with Satori. So that's the issue. And you get Satori at the end of Act 1 in the heist. You go to the top building. I have a way you can glitch it after that if you missed it. So the old guy comes out, and in his helicopter is Satori. Okay, we are headed. Interesting that we have to go all the way around here. Whoa! Where were you coming from? The AI is so funny on this game. It just is so funny. Oh, here's a drop point. Great. Oh, we get some more stuff. Actually, yeah. I think we got a lot more stuff. Oh, there's crit damage. I think we went crit chance, but we'll keep them. That's crit damage. Oh man. See, that's the downer. I'm not speccing the body. So it gives me 4 points, I guess, for the gorilla arms. I wonder what... Do I not have the best... Oh, I don't have the... Oh, okay. So maybe if I got better gorilla arms, I would... Okay. And we'll try Satori out here. Well, we could do the food buff and the hydration buff. Yeah, I've definitely been here before. And could not do it. But I think we're just right. It's really the level 23 was what was necessary. Both your weapons and also to have that infinite Sandevistan, get to level 15 reflexes, 18 technical ability, so we can get the 3-second cooldown on the, and also use the Dion or the Keont Mark IV. Okay. They seem to be quite a lot over there, but go do it. Okay, good. 2 down. Got a few more. Maybe they're coming our way. Okay, I think there's only one more left. Oops. Anybody left? You still playing. Whoa. Okay, there's somebody coming. Where? Okay, cooldown should be almost over. There we go. That's it. So I would say, yeah, Haywood, you're probably not much point until you get level 23. Then you got 18 crafting, 15 reflexes if that's all you're speccing into. Then after that, it should get easier. Pick up Satori, craft a katana. It's probably your highest DPS for that time, and if you're doing the. I mean, I think the other good thing about like the katana build is you don't have to be like really accurate. Now, of course, you can shoot them at point blank range, but if that, I mean, that's the downside is that you have to run there. So maybe you have a little bit more reach without the katana. Too hard to maneuver. Alright, so how are we on assaults in progress? We got one more, I think. Okay, so we'll do the last assault in progress that I can see, at least during the daytime, and then and I think we're almost at the end of the sleeping buff anyways. Maybe we are at the end of the sleeping buff. Yeah, we are. We no longer have it. So, in terms of like leveling up, it's not great. So here's the assault in progress down here. We also want to do the upgrades. Now, if we had any unused point in crafting, we'd also get crafting XP for this, but we're doing it mostly just to have better weapons. And armor. I think also a big money maker we could do right now would be to do crafting, right? We can craft for decent profit already at level 25. And it's only going to get, our profit margins on crafting are only going to get better as we level up. Now, this would be exorbitantly expensive if we didn't have like money glitches and duplication glitches, but it's not now. In which case, you'd just like be leveling up your best things, not like every gold thing you have. Oh, we have some comments. Hello, Kende Daras. I need to put on my glasses for that. I really like Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I would say I like it more. I rated it higher. I think it's less replayable than Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk is more replayable. So I think I only did one playthrough, Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't have much desire to do that, and I've not done the NG Plus for Ghost of Tsushima. But I haven't done NG Plus for any game except for Witcher. Really. Okay, so that is... We've got... I'm not sure if these are just randos. I think they are. Whoa, there's a lot of them. Oh, they're coming. But at least I can do like 2 like within a Sandevistan. 3, that's a big improvement, right? That's huge improvement. So I mean, at this point, maybe we could even start leveling up with other parts of the, I mean, like other weapons than the blades. Was that the assault in progress? No. There's some gang members there. So yeah, this is the Valentino Alley farming loop, but we don't want to farm. We just want to get to the assault in progress. Okay. Oopsies. Oh, see, we did almost half his health just with the grenade, which was really good. So, you know, I was needed to do like 5 grenades on these guys just a few levels ago, so it's a big improvement. See how the grenades work. Seems to work. Big gun, but didn't get to shoot it. I mean, I think that's the other good thing about the whole the blades. It has a lot of stun associated with it. So if they're stunned, then you can keep on hitting them. Okay. Militech baddie's gone. Alright, so if we look at the map, it's gigs, cyber psychos, but we don't see any NCPD assaults in progress. Not even kind of like on the border regions there. You know, we don't see it. So I think we're getting closer. I don't think I've done one gig, so we don't have the gig counter yet. Like Dino, I did a gig, so we had the gig counter, and I think we have a gig counter like in Watson. But I forget how many gigs there are in Haywood for Padre. So that would be the next thing to do, to try to get the trophy. Alright, subscribe. Yeah. I think because Cyberpunk's so replayable, and then the play styles are also so different. The builds are so different, and you have to choose one build for a run. There's only 71 attribute points. I think it's good. All right, so thanks for watching. Subscribe. Follow at Linus Wilson on Twitter.